everyone, Digfig here, and welcome! Today we're going to be going over Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, my kind of reviews and thoughts. I just beat the game last night. Let's jump right in this with the gameplay. And the mission design in this game, given it's not like fetch quests or anything like that, but like just the overall flow of the gameplay and your objectives, is really wonderfully done. It's paced well, you feel like you want to do the objectives, you want to see what's coming next. It's also broken up very much by these cinematic, moving, awesome missions. There's not like a ton of them, but there's just enough where you're just like have this wow factor of that was really cool. Some of the coolest missions I've done in a long time in games. I really enjoyed them. Now, we're going to talk a little bit here about NPCs, their telegraphs, how their animations work in these Dark Souls kind of games is super important because it lets you know what movesets they're going to do. And they're very easy to learn in this game. It felt very good. Fighting things and learning how to fight things, given you would die to something and then it's like next time you face it you're like, I remember that, you know how to dodge and deal with it. They did an excellent job with that. Only tiny little pet peeve with that is there's two bosses where to me it seemed like they would do a telegraph and sometimes it would mean they were doing 3 swings, and they would do the same telegraph and sometimes it meant they were doing like 5. And the very final boss had one telegraph that was all like instantaneous almost. It felt like, it was kind of and one bugged lightsaber throw thing. But again, there's gonna be no major spoilers, so I'm not going to talk about anything in major detail. The bosses overall though weren't too difficult. They weren't like an insane Dark Souls. I did beat the game on the absolute hardest difficulty. I played all the way through it that way. 2 of the bosses took me about 48 minutes to beat, and the very final one took me about 58 minutes to beat. Kind of weird they're both 48 and 58. But either way, that happened, so nothing totally ridiculous. Some of the Dark Souls bosses gave me a lot harder time. This game is definitely going to be accessible to some people that are new to this whole Dark Souls genre, I believe, especially if they turn down the difficulty a little. Now let's talk about the level design here for a second. I've seen people give this game praise for it, and I've seen people criticize them for it, and I'm kind of in the same boat here. I want to do both. Overall, the level design is very good. They did an excellent job. They just have a little criticism of how you access different areas, how they're displayed to you, and like loot boxes and stuff in the terrain, where it shows them to you that like they're over here, can you get to them? And the answer is no, you can't yet, because the game gives you new powers as you go along and you need to access some of these areas, but it shows you these areas on the way through because they want to do the intertwining level design. So I spent about 2 hours of my 18 hours probably trying to get to loot boxes and parts of the map that you didn't have access to yet. And as you progress through the game, you get used to this whole design feature that you kind of like spend 5 minutes trying to get to a box or a part of the level and you're like, you know what, I think I need to come back later, or there's going to be an easier way if I go 10 minutes back or further into the level and you can wrap around. Definitely a much better way to play that. They definitely needed to do some sort of dialogue or introduction to that way of design so you really don't waste that much time. The overall game time of this thing is supposed to run you about 20 hours is what I read online before I picked it up. Like I said, on the absolute hardest difficulty, it took me like 18 hours to beat. And that was with about 2 hours of trying to get to boxes and other things that I wasn't supposed to get to yet. I did find some ways though. You can bug out a lot of things if you try hard enough. Overall, the controls of this game are magnificently done, especially on the PC, which is where I played it. I've played a lot of the Dark Souls games before, and if you've played any of the actual Dark Souls games on PC, you know the mouse and keyboard is basically useless, and you need to use a controller for it. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do mouse and keyboard. I'm sure some of the challenge people have. But either way, this game is 100% playable, mouse and keyboard. The controls are magnificently done in that aspect. It's ported incredibly well, and I was easily able to beat, accomplish, and do everything. Now let's move on to the sound. The voice acting in this game, I think, is very well done. The voice actors do a really good job portraying the characters. There's emotions and feelings in them, the highs, the lows. It all just feels really well done. There's so much character in these characters, and it just feels so Star Warsy and so good. The whole game overall is amazing in that aspect. You know when a blaster's shooting at you, you know when a TIE fighter is coming down on you. There's so many good sounds in the lightsabers that we all grew up with from the Star Wars franchise, and they definitely did not skimp on that in this one. Now the graphics overall, I am running a 280 Ti on a 3900X. I was running about 144 frames per second the whole time. There were some areas with frame drops, like I'll talk about a little bit in all my playthrough videos. Because there's just random little areas where every time you pass through them, you get some major frame drops, and I don't know exactly what's going on there. They could definitely use a tiny more polish in that aspect. But for the most part, the game is beautiful. It looks so Star Wars-y. The blasters look good, the effects look good, the animations look good, the textures are amazing on some of these things. It's not like super next gen, but like it's very, very good looking on a good running PC. And now the overall feel of the game, I was really, really happy with it. The story was really good. I will say one thing to you devs, that ending, not gonna ruin it for anyone, but play through the game and let me know what you guys think of the ending, but don't actually spoil it down there, because oh, haha. But either way, it just feels so Star Wars-y. It's such a good game. I hate giving EA praise for this, but I really don't think it was up to them. I think they kind of had their hands forced in it because they were in a shitstorm when this game was coming out. And I'm glad it's good. And they just did a press release saying that they were shocked that it did so well. But like everyone's wanted a single player Star Wars games forever. But according to them, no one wants to play single player games anymore. But I think we all proved them wrong. This is a very, very good game. A very good Dark Souls game. And I definitely recommend picking it up if you like that whole genre. Or if you've just heard nightmare stories about Dark Souls and all the Dark Souls genre games. This one on a lower difficulty setting might be perfect to introduce you to it. And see that they're really not that bad. I was afraid of them for many, many years until I actually picked up Dark Souls and played all the way through it, and I was astonished at how much I loved it. You should definitely give the game a chance, everyone. And I hope this helps you make a decision to get it or not. If you did like the game, let me know in the comments. If you didn't like the game, let me know in the comments below why. I've had people comment on my videos that they don't like the whole level design thing and that it's frustrating not being able to get to things that they show you. I do agree on that point. But either way, everyone, do all the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, comment, watch all the content front to back, because that's the #1 thing you can do to a YouTuber you like. It helps their analytics so much. I will see you guys in the next video. Digfig. Such a good game. And the next game I'm playing is Metro Exit. I've never played one of the Metro games. Someone recommended them a while ago. I watched Kohal play them a little bit, and I was like, it looks actually pretty nice. We're going to be starting that playthrough up here in a minute.
Come take a look at this.